Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world with me, Deepika, coming up in the next 1 hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi posts another Instagram video, praises anti-paper leak bill, says taking steps to make exam system more robust. Donald Trump claims board of peace reaches historic agreement for disarmament of Hamas, critical step towards Gaza governance. US retaliates to Iran's continuous strike on its military bases in Kuwait and Jordan, imposes sanctions on global network supporting Iranian airline Mahan Air. Hundreds of migrants pour into Spain, Ceuta from Morocco by sea and land, attempt to reach Europe, military called in. Europe unites against FIFA investment proposal with European soccer's governing body UEFA, drawing the line, rejects FIFA stake sale plan. And India continues to shine in Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Weightlifter Lovepreet wins silver, discus thrower Seema settles for bronze, while Neeraj Chopra qualifies for javelin throw finals. Good morning to all the viewers joining us at this morning broadcast. To begin with the latest, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has lauded the passage of a bill by the Parliament, stating that it makes our examination system more robust. Posting another Instagram video, Prime Minister Narendra Modi praises the anti-paper leak bill, saying that the legislation makes India's examination system more robust and reinforces transparency and fairness in public examinations.
साथियों, विश्वस्त परीक्षा पद्धति, इसके लिए हम लगातार एक के बाद एक कदम उठा रहे हैं। टास्क फोर्स की रचना हो, फास्ट ट्रैक की और रचना हो, राज्यों के सुझावों को ध्यान में लेना हो, क्योंकि पिछले कई दशकों से हर राज्य और केंद्र सरकार इस प्रकार की पेपर लीक की परेशानी झेल रहा है। बच्चों के भविष्य को भी इसके कारण संकट पैदा हो रहा है। इन सब को ध्यान में रखते हुए देशव्यापी सभी राज्यों में भी और केंद्र में भी शिक्षा पद्धति में सुधार अनिवार्य हो गया है। टेक्नोलॉजी के भरपूर उपयोग की आवश्यकता हो गई है और साथ साथ फिर से कोई पेपर माफिया, पेपर लीक करने वाली गैंग, देश के बच्चों के भविष्य के साथ खिलवाड़ करने वाली गैंग, उनको बख्शा नहीं जाएगा। इसलिए कठोर कानूनों की भी जरूरत है। हम संसद में बिल लेकर के गए थे और जैसा मैंने आपको वादा किया था, गत 2 दिन संसद के दोनों सदनों ने, अधिकतम माननीय सांसदों ने विस्तार पूर्वक उससे चर्चा की है और आज दोनों सदनों ने इस कठोर कानूनों वाले, प्रावधानों वाले इस बिल को पास कर दिया है। अब विश्वस्त परीक्षा पद्धति की दिशा में जाने में एक महत्वपूर्ण काम पूर्ण हुआ है। काम आगे भी चलता रहेगा। हम ऐसी परिस्थितियों को लंबे समय तक नहीं चलने देंगे। इस विश्वास के साथ साथियों, आइए हम सब मिल करके विकसित भारत के स्वप्न को पूर्ण करने के लिए कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर के चलें। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Parliament on Thursday night passed amendments to an existing law to provide for stringent punishment for those involved in paper leaks and other unfair means in examinations, with Rajya Sabha clearing the bill amid a walkout by the opposition. The 7.15-hour-long debate and voting on the Public Examinations Prevention of Unfair Means Amendment Bill 2026 saw the uproar by the opposition in the Parliament. And replying to the debate, Union Minister Jitendra Singh said that the BJP government holds the youth in high esteem and their esteem had gone up at international level under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
The irony is that the first time the suggestion for setting up a national agency came way back in 1992, almost 33 years back. It was a Congress government at the center. A series of committees were formed, and in UPA 2 in 2010, again a very strong suggestion from one of the committees set up by them came to set up a national testing agency. I'm sure they will appreciate and be grateful and thank Prime Minister Modi that the unfinished task and unfinished agenda left by UPA is being completed and brought to conclusion by the NDA.
And now to get you more on this, I'm joined by DD India correspondent Vishal Paristo from New Delhi. Good morning, Vishal. Well, continuous reforms are there to ensure the system becomes watertight now. What more can we expect from the Parliament today, Vishal?
Well, a very good morning to you, Deepika. You heard the Prime Minister, you also heard the Union Minister in the PMO office. You also heard what are the different voices of the parliamentarians. The bill is passed and now it would go for the approval of the President before it is enacted. Now, today BJP is in a very aggressive mood. They have already announced that they are going to stage in a protest. They are also threatening of a privilege motion against the leader of opposition in the lower house, Rahul Gandhi. So they are very much upset the way Rahul Gandhi named the Home Minister, accused him of the police action despite of having any evidence against him, and repeatedly the opposition tried to disrupt the proceedings of the House. Even yesterday, when the minister concerned was giving a reply, the opposition walked out. So you heard the minister saying that it was 33 years ago during the UPA regime when Congress, or led by Congress, it was suggested that we should have a national testing agency, but it took 33 long years, 3 decades for them to finally see that the NDA government has made it a reality. So things are going to be again very dramatic. Things are going to be again very heated as far as the altercations are concerned, but the two bills that are there in the Lok Sabha are the Birth and Death Amendment Bill. This is scheduled to be presented by the Home Minister Amit Shah, and then we have discussion on the number of judges in the Supreme Court. That is an amendment bill, and it has already been introduced by the Law Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal. And in the other house, Jitan Ram Manjhi, the minister, would be moving the MSME amendment bill. But let me tell you that the opposition are up against their demands, and the treasury is also all prepared, and we are going to witness some very noisy and dramatic scenes in the Parliament.
Okay, we also discussed about Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the viewers also saw that he released yet another video on the issue and of course lauded the latest step as well. Now, does that give some sort of assurance to the stakeholders?
Well, absolutely, it should give not only an assurance but also confidence in the Prime Minister's words, because he has been releasing video messages directly addressing the youth of the country, and he has already said that the youth of this country has made us proud, and that would instill a lot of confidence in the youth, and also in that section of the society that has been questioning the government at the center. So this message definitely will bring a lot of sanity as far as the confusion that was created by party politics, and also a lot of confidence in the government. The bill is now would be becoming an act. It has been passed in both houses of the Parliament, and now we would be having a very strong fast-track court. The bill, which would be an act soon, requires all the state governments and the union territories to have fast-track courts and it also requires them to go for a speedy redressal. The charge sheet, after the charge sheet is filed, the investigation, the whole investigation has to be completed within 3 months, and also the number of years as far as punishment goes has been increased to 10 years and the penalty to 10 crore rupees. But apart from that, it is the justice that the victim would be getting, because as the saying goes, justice delayed is justice denied, and that is why these fast track courts would be set up to give justice to the victims, to those affected by the cheating and paper leakages. But let me tell you that the whole process is so watered tight that I don't think that anybody would dare do and repeat what they have been doing so far. And now with the youth also very much aware, definitely they would take help of they would take all the legal help from these fast track courts if
Indeed.
it ever happens again.
All right. Thank you so much, Vishal, for joining us straight from the Parliament and getting us the latest on today's proceeding as well. Now, in a social media post on X, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar wrote, and I quote him here, "The passing of the Public Examination Prevention of Unfair Means Amendment Bill 2026 by both houses is a step forward towards ensuring the integrity, transparency and credibility of India's public examination system. The bill provides for time-bound investigations, special public prosecutors, special fast-track courts and an expedited appellate mechanism, and will further strengthen the legal framework to prevent use of unfair means in public examinations. The Modi government is resolute in its commitment to protect the right of India's hard-working youth and talent." Unquote. On to news just coming in. Well, Meta's India head Arun Srinivas is now facing an FIR over AI-generated videos of Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Facebook and Instagram. Arun Srinivas is Meta's India head, and he is responsible for overseeing Meta's strategy and operations in the country. The FIR was registered by Hyderabad Cyber Crime Police. Investigators are looking into the origin of these AI-generated videos of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and whether they may have misled the public. Well, Meta's safeguards are also being examined to understand whether the platform was able to curb the circulation of these clips or not. Well, the case comes at a time when Meta is also facing questions from the centre over a separate incident in which one of Prime Minister's Facebook post was briefly restricted before being restored. And Parliament has also passed the Prevention of Insults to National Honour Amendment Bill 2026. India's Minister of State for Home, Nityanand Rai, moved the bill to further amend the Prevention of Insults to National Honour Act 1971. The legislation seeks to give Vande Mataram the same statutory protection as the national anthem, Jana Gana Mana. These offences are punishable with imprisonment of up to 3 years, fine or both. Earlier, replying to the discussion on the bill, Minister of State for Home, Nityanand Rai, said the bill is not merely a legislative amendment, but it represents India's cultural heritage, national identity, and the ideals of the country's freedom struggle. He said in 1971, through the Prevention of Insults to National Honour Act, provisions were made to ensure respect for the national anthem. In a written reply in Lok Sabha, government informed on Thursday that ethanol blended petrol program has been implemented through a phased and scientifically validated along with a consultative process involving Niti Aayog, automobile manufacturers, oil marketing companies, Automotive Research Association of India, Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers, Indian Institute of Petroleum and other technical institutions. The rollout of higher ethanol blends was undertaken only after extensive consultations. Extensive laboratory studies and field trials confirmed that E20 is safe for use under prescribed standards. These studies also established that legacy vehicles do not exhibit any significant variation in performance or abnormal wear and tear due to E20. Manufacturer services Data confirm that there is no abnormal corrosion, wear or tear reduction in vehicle life due to E20 fuel. The government's assessment is based not only on laboratory research but also on large-scale experience after nationwide implementation. Well, according to SIAM and ARAI, E20 improves acceleration and ride quality while reducing carbon emissions. We're heading for a quick and short break, but still to come on the other side. Chile reactivates consular relations with Venezuela. China begins patrolling of Yongyang Dao, an inherent part of its territory. And death toll from Japan's powerful earthquake rises to 34. Rescue teams continues search for survivors. Welcome back after that short break. You're watching DD India News Hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday chaired a meeting of the Cabinet Committee on Security to review the situation in the context of ongoing West Asia conflict and measures taken by various ministries and departments. This was the fourth special CCS meeting on the current issue. On the situation of seafarers in conflict zones, Prime Minister Narendra Modi directed to establish a mechanism to provide timely information, emergency assistance and counselling to seafarers and their families. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that all efforts must be made to safeguard the citizens as well as the Indian diaspora from the impact of this conflict. Requirements for the fertilizer for ensuing Rabi season was assessed and alternate sources of fertilizers were also discussed. Prime Minister said that all the measures should be taken to ensure uninterrupted supply of fertilizers, and in order to ensure energy independence, he said that the emphasis should be made on renewable energy sources. Moving on, US President Donald Trump on Thursday announced an agreement for the complete disarmament of Hamas and other armed groups in Gaza, calling it a critical step towards a new Palestinian government in Gaza. In a post on Truth Social, Trump cast it as a major milestone in the implementation of the Trump 20-point plan to end Israel's war in Gaza. He asserted that the agreement would be implemented in phases. He wrote, Israeli forces will withdraw and an international stabilization force working alongside a new Palestinian police force will assume responsibility for security in Gaza. The president thanked mediators from Egypt, Qatar and Turkey, as well as administration for helping broker the agreement. Senior Hamas officials confirmed on Friday that they have reached a deal to end the conflict with Israel after Donald Trump announced that the group was prepared to disarm. Hamas officials said the deal includes provisions addressing the group's weapons and the gradual withdrawal of Israeli forces from the Gaza Strip. However, the Israeli officials earlier on Thursday declined to be identified, said Israel had rejected the proposal. The Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps said it struck a U.S. military base in Kuwait on Thursday in retaliation for a large-scale U.S. attack on Iran earlier that day. The strike destroyed 2 drone hangars and a fuel depot for aircraft and military helicopters. The IRGC said earlier that United States had launched an airstrike on Iran from the military base in Kuwait, hitting 2 houses on Iran's Qasem Island in an attack which killed a family of 3, including a child, and injured 2 others. In retaliation, the IRGC said it also struck a U.S. military base in Jordan on Thursday, destroying 3 F-35 fighter jets. The U.S. Military Central Command said on Thursday it has redirected 24 commercial vessels since restarting a blockade on Iranian ports earlier this month, up from 20 vessels a day earlier. CENTCOM said since President Trump reinstated the blockade, U.S. forces have boarded 2 ships accused of violating it and have fired at 2 other ships to disable them. The U.S. has publicly insisted the Strait of Hormuz is still open to commercial traffic, but transits through the waterway remain extremely low as Iran threatens to strike the ships. The U.S. military completed a wave of strikes against Iran on Thursday in retaliation against Tehran targeting American bases in Jordan. Iran's state news agency reported hits on several cities in the southwestern Khuzestan province, as well as on Qasem Island in the Gulf. The United States on Thursday issued new sanctions on Thursday targeting global networks supporting Mahan Air, the Iranian carrier transporting Iran's Revolutionary Guards personnel, as well as weapons and drones. The U.S. Treasury designated 6 entities and individuals in China, Russia and Iran, including several companies that act as sales agents for the U.S. and European Union sanctioned airline, the department said in a statement. The move comes as a drone strike on gas vessels in Egypt's Mediterranean port of Damietta signaled a potential new front in the U.S.-Iran war, raising the prospect of threats to navigation through the Suez Canal. Treasury said it was also sanctioning a front company associated with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps that has supported Iran's kinetic targeting during the war. U.S. President Donald Trump presented an initiative called Freedom Hollers, which aims to place military veterans in trucking jobs considering their previous driving experience. During an event outside the White House, Donald Trump said former military members with heavy truck driving experience would be automatically eligible for a commercial driver's license. The president also said the plan was in line with his strategy to remove undocumented migrants from the American roads and explained 28,000 commercial driver's licenses unlawfully issued illegally had been cancelled. And in a major development, Spain has deployed military units to reinforce police in its enclave of Ceuta in North Africa as migrants surged by sea and land from Morocco into the territory. Authorities sought to close off another Spanish enclave nearby. Hundreds of migrants were seen swimming or floating on inner tubes from the Moroccan side, and others were breaking through a gate on land and running into the city. Well, Ceuta and Melilla have the European Union's only land borders with Africa. In Melilla, footage appeared to show clashes at the Beni and Sar border point. That has been the only open crossing between Morocco and Melilla for the past 6 years. According to reports, at least 3 vehicles were set ablaze and injuries were reported among migrants and security forces. The government said 200 specialized police officers and 60 troops arrived from the Spanish mainland to reinforce Ceuta's regular forces. It was unclear whether reinforcements were being sent to Melilla, and other authorities were not immediately available for comments. Spain's socialist government stands out in Europe for its pro-migrant stance, and it has recently launched a program to provide legal status for some 500,000 undocumented migrants, triggering an influx of applications double that number, though right-wing parties criticize the drive. And now to give you more on this, I'm joined by lead India correspondent Akhilesh Suman. Good morning. Well, first of all, help us understand that what exactly prompted so many people to cross Ceuta.
You know, Deepika, Morocco is comparatively a better country in Africa, though they are, upper middle income group. But their aspirations are also big, and their aspirations are also great. So in that way, in search of green pastures, they moved to Spain off and on. In 2021 also such incident had happened that when around 10,000 people had crossed over to Spain. And now also it is happening. The latest, encouragement of such type of migration is that Supreme Court ruling. That Supreme Court ruling said that you cannot return any migrant that is coming to Spain. So in that way, the Spanish, even if they put military or whatever, police or paramilitary force, they cannot stop any migrant from Morocco that is coming inside Spain. So this is encouragement for Moroccan people. They are coming to Morocco and they are feeling that they will have a good job, they will have good employment, good living conditions. So this is a major encouragement for people who are coming from Morocco. Other than that, that Morocco, once they come to Spain, they can go to other EU countries also. And Morocco has a history of, legitimizing the migrants who are coming. And it becomes a problem for Europe sometimes. Some European countries are also demanding that Spain should be, removed or suspended from European Union because Spain is not following all the migration-related laws and traditions of European Union. So I think that this is the latest provocation that is encouraging Moroccan people to come to Spain, Deepika.
Also tell us what happens next now that the military has been deployed to control the situation.
Yeah, that is what is the most surprising, that even if military has been destroyed, as per Supreme Court ruling, no military, no paramilitary force can return those who have come to a Spanish land. So military will only discourage people who are coming to Spain, but once they are inside Spain, they cannot send them back. So military is just to discourage people who are trying to come to Morocco. They cannot fire, they cannot use force. So this is a very difficult position for Moroccan people, because Moroccan people are opposing that such type of sudden migration create not only law and order problem, but it also create that civic pressure on civic facilities, and the whole lot of differences between living conditions of Moroccan people and Spanish people. It's a lot of difference. Even though Moroccans have been very close economically to Spain, but still Morocco is a global South nation, and this is the predicament of global South nation, that even if they develop, they don't develop the way that the Europeans have developed, and the way the European have developed a type of culture, living conditions. So this is the whole thing, that even if Moroccans are better among many South African nations, they can just discourage people. They have to assure people who are migrating from Morocco. And I think that the Spanish government may also talk, though Spanish government is a socialist government, they don't stop migration, but only military can discourage people from coming. They cannot use any force.
All right, thank you so much for joining us and getting us the latest update on that, because discouragement definitely doesn't seem the way out considering the current situation there. We'll get you the latest on that also. Moving on to other updates from Russia, Ukraine now. An overnight attack damaged a logistics facility belonging to Russian online retail giant Wildberries in Volgograd. The attack followed similar Ukrainian strikes on a number of the company's warehouses around the country. Kyiv accuses the e-commerce giant of storing drone parts and helping the Russian army. Wildberries said no one was hurt in the strike that sparked a fire at the facility in Volgograd, more than 350 kilometers from Ukraine's border. Well, Ukraine first targeted Wildberries warehouses on July 18th and 19th in Tambov region, resulting in 8 casualties and destroying facilities as well. Chile has reactivated consular relations with Venezuela on Thursday. Chilean President Jose Antonio Cast said the move marks the beginning of a new stage, which would enable progress on the huge challenges they have as countries on the same continent. He highlighted issues related to security, migration and economic development. The two countries broke consular relations in early 2025. The death toll from this week's powerful earthquake in southwestern Japan has risen to 34 as rescue teams continue searching for survivors amid widespread destruction and extreme heat. Authorities said 7 more bodies were recovered from the collapsed Ion shopping mall, where a suspected gas explosion followed the magnitude 7.1 earthquake, while nearly 9,500 people are staying in evacuation centers across Kyushu. A blast at a coal mine killed at least 34 workers in southern Pakistan, adding rescuers who were searching for more missing miners. The explosion, caused by methane gas, tore through the mine near the capital of the resource-rich province of Balochistan on Thursday, sparking a rescue operation that ran into the night. Mining accidents are common in Pakistan, particularly in Balochistan. In Hong Kong, a building security guard who stuffed a cat into a plastic bag and dumped it at a refuse collection point was sentenced to 4 months in prison. He was convicted of animal cruelty after finding a stray cat while working as a security guard last August. After no one claimed the animal, he claimed he found it too troublesome to handle, stuffed it into a plastic bag and discarded it at a nearby refuse station. The court ruled the cat was likely dead and sentenced him to 4 months in prison for the cruel act. Time for a quick and short break, but still to come on the other side. LG approves 23 heritage sites in Ladakh as protected monuments. Flood situation in Assam shows signs of improvement. Up next, we'll get you ground report on Assam floods. And Europe battles relentless wildfires as France contains major plays. Spain, Greece and England remain on high alert.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Johar. It fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout हो गया.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
I'm on a quest to explore the history of Goa. A land steeped in diverse and intersecting cultures and traditions.
I think this is what.
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching DD India Newshour. Well, in a major step towards preserving Ladakh's archaeological and cultural heritage, Lieutenant Governor Vinay Kumar Saxena has declared 23 historically significant sites as protected monuments under the provisions of Jammu and Kashmir Ancient Monuments Preservation Act. The landmark decision marks a significant milestone in safeguarding Ladakh's unique civilizational heritage by ensuring legal protection, scientific conservation and systematic restoration of monuments that reflect the region's long and diverse history. In a post on social media, Lieutenant Governor said that the government is committed to driving modern progress while securely anchoring future generations to our glorious, authentic roots under the guidance by Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of Vikas Bhi Virasat Bhi. Indian Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri met with the King of Bhutan to discuss bilateral development cooperation following the co-chairing of the 5th India-Bhutan Development Cooperation talks in Thimphu. The talks reviewed India's rupees 10,000 crore commitment to Bhutan's 13th five-year plan. The talks also focused on project assistance, economic stimulus and community development projects funded by India. Bhutan's king appreciated the advances and informed about developments at Gelipu Mindfulness City and reiterated his support for strengthening bilateral ties. Consul General of India Binay Pradhan attended the ceremonial bill signing marking the establishment of Connecticut India Trade Commission, presided over by Governor of Connecticut Ned Lamont at the Connecticut State Capitol in Hartford. The commission will provide a dedicated platform to strengthen India-Connecticut cooperation in trade, investment, technology, innovation, higher education and institutional partnerships. Ambassador Pradhan welcomed the establishment of the Commission as a platform for identifying and advancing areas of cooperation between India and Connecticut. He also highlighted opportunities in advanced manufacturing, aerospace, information technology, cybersecurity, clean energy, healthcare, higher education and innovation. The ceremony was also attended by Lieutenant Governor Susan, Senator Sujata Gadkar-Wilcox, Assemblyman Stephen Veskers and other elected representatives, business and academic leaders and members of the Indian American community. And now on to a tragic incident in Maharashtra. At least 9 people have been killed after a 4-story building collapsed in Bhiwandi on Friday. Some people are feared trapped under the rubble, according to the officials. Tragedy struck while repair work was underway on the premises. A major multi-agency rescue operation is underway, comprising teams from the National Disaster Response Force, Thane Disaster Response Force and local fire brigade. And the flood situation in Assam has shown further signs of improvement. However, 2.12 lakh people continue to remain affected as flood waters persist in several districts. The IMD issues yellow alert for Assam with chances of heavy rainfall in several areas. 8 districts remain affected by the floods. Relief and rescue operations are continuing across the affected areas. At present, 112 relief camps and relief distribution centers are operational across the state. The latest report also confirms 2 flood-related deaths, both reported from Sivasagar district, while no person is currently reported missing. The total death toll in this year's flood has now risen to 80. And now to get you more on this, I'm joined by Shubina Roy straight from Dibrugarh, Assam. Good morning, Shubina. What is the latest that you are tracking on this current situation and what does the latest figure on toll says?
Good morning, Deepika. Right now, the situation here in Assam is critical. However, it is improving. The death toll this year's in flood death has risen to 80. The relief and rescue measures are on. The government has announced a series of announcements for bringing in relief to the flood-affected victims. As of the latest data, total 8 districts are still dealing under flood waters, particularly Soraideo, Sitsagar, Jorhat, Golaghat, Kamrup. So these are the areas, which are still reeling under flood waters. The government has announced a series of measures like a 6-month moratorium on all kinds of loans, which includes car loans, housing loans, crop loans, then animal husbandry loans. This is to bring relief to people. Also, a collateral-free loan of 15,000 for immediate assistance will be given out to every flood-affected families. Apart from that, the loan repayment has been extended. The period has been extended from 1 to 2 years in case of housing, then car loans. So these are the series of relief measures that have been taken by the government yesterday. Apart from that, 2 days before, the government has also announced Orunodoi scheme, which will be increased to rupees 2,500 for each one of the affected families, particularly in these three districts like Soraido, Sibsagar, and Jorhat. Similarly, educational reliefs will be given out to undergraduate students, postgraduate students, higher secondary students. A relief amount of like 5,000, 2,000, 2,500 will be awarded to the students. Also, free books, textbooks will be granted. Then free school uniforms would be granted to the students. And apart from that, also the namghars, the spiritual institutions will be granted 1.5 lakh for, the immediate relief and cleaning, so that the cleaning can happen in all these temple and religious places which have happened. Also, a lot of contribution has come in from the ministers, from across India, to name a few, I would say all the MLAs of Assam would be donating their 1 month's salary in the CM's relief funds. Also, some MLAs will be donating extra money of 2 lakh or something like that to the CM's relief fund. Apart from that, also various companies have come in to put their different contributions into the CM relief fund. Like yesterday, Aryan Karthik donated ₹1 crore to CM relief fund for the flood affected victims. All the Assam Secretariat employees will be donating their 1 day salary in these relief efforts to the CM Relief Fund. Also, the IAS Association will be donating their 1 day salary to CM's relief fund for bringing in relief. Also, Deepika, this is also an example, when at hard times, people across India have come. Some people have come from Delhi, from Punjab, from Maharashtra, bringing in relief materials in trucks. You can see the lines that have gathered across, the National Highway 37, which leads to Sibsagar and Soraido. The amount of relief and assistance that have come from people is like heartening,
Indeed, it is very important to see such sort of a picture when everybody comes together in time of crisis, and it altogether shows a different picture. However, we expect that the recovery happens sooner and Assam soon comes out of it sooner. Thank you so much, Subina, for joining us straight from there and getting us the latest on this. Moving on, a fresh spell of monsoon rain is set to lash Kerala over the next few days, with IMD forecasting heavy rainfall across several parts of the state from today. Also, the IMD has forecast heavy rainfall across parts of north, central, east, northeast and western India, with isolated areas expected to receive very heavy to extremely heavy rainfall. The Gujarat administration is on high alert as the state braces for extremely heavy rainfall in several districts today. The weather department has predicted intense showers in 15 districts, with authorities urging people to avoid unnecessary travel amid the possibility of waterlogging and strong winds. Updates on international wildfire now. After days of intense efforts to contain the blaze in France, wildfires in southwestern region have somehow been contained. On Thursday, authorities stated that the burnt area remains at 42,000 hectares after days of firefighting. Around 3,300 firefighters and significant aerial resources, including firefighting planes and helicopters, remained deployed in the area. The blazes, raging through pine forests near Bordeaux, have forced the evacuation of about 220,000 residents, though some 84,000 people have now been allowed to return. Thousands of businesses that had halted operations are beginning to resume the activity. While Interior Minister Laurent Nunez said France's wildfire risk remains extremely high despite a slight improvement in weather conditions, citing persistent drought and fast-spreading blazes across the country. Wildfires conditions improved in Spain's central provinces of Avila and Madrid. However, blaze in Castellón remained out of control after burning more than 10,000 hectares, with adverse weather triggering several flare-ups. Around 10,000 evacuated residents were still unable to return to their homes. Wildfire has destroyed an avocado farm in eastern Spain, leaving orchards scorched and wiping out fruits destined for this year's harvest. Farmers said the damage will also affect production for the next few years until new trees mature. They urged the government to provide financial support to help prevent farms from being abandoned. New wildfires have erupted in the northwestern Spanish provinces of Zamora and Leon amid the fourth heat wave of the summer. In Greece, more than 200 firefighters grappled on Thursday to tame blazes burning for a second day after strong winds sparked new fronts. The fires that started on Wednesday in the southern region of Ridhomno damaged coastal businesses and left behind scorched agricultural land. The wildfire prompted evacuations from several villages and tourist areas. In eastern England, a helicopter dropped water on wildfire on Thursday as emergency service continued to tackle the blaze. The fire has burned across parts of Tunbridge Heath, home to protected bird species and other wildfire. Nearby communities were evacuated and roads were closed as the folk fire and rescue services continued to try and control the blaze. The weather system battering Chile continues to wreak havoc on Thursday, forcing residents to use kayaks or wade through flooded streets, while government efforts are underway to reach farmers cut off by heavy snowfall in the mountains. Heavy rainfall led to flooding in several areas of La Union. In the Atacama region, authorities delivered alfalfa to snow-isolated farmers in Alto del Carmen, while machinery cleared roads and soldiers helped transport livestock feed. And now let's get you the latest from the world of business. Apple beat market expectations in its latest results, marking Tim Cook's final earnings report as CEO. However, the company's outlook for the current quarter disappointed the investors. The tech giant's results were driven by strong iPhone demand and double-digit growth across all regions where it operates. However, Apple forecast revenue growth of between 9 and 11% for the current quarter, below market estimates, citing supply constraints. The earnings report is expected to be Cook's last as the chief executive. John Turnus will take over as the CEO on the 1st of September, with Cook becoming executive chairman of the company's board. Attention is now turning to Apple's next lineup of smartphones, expected in September and reportedly including a foldable model. Amazon beat Wall Street expectations after posting strong second quarter growth driven by its cloud computing, artificial intelligence and chip businesses. The company reported a 20% jump in revenue to more than $200 billion, while Amazon Web Services climbed 37% to $42.2 billion. Amazon said its AI cloud and custom chip businesses each surpassed a $25 billion annual revenue run rate. Meanwhile, Microsoft gained over 15% after beating earnings estimates and reporting more than 30 million paid users for its AI-powered Copilot tool. In contrast to this, Meta shares tumbled after the Facebook and Instagram parent posted results that fell short of Wall Street expectations. Artificial intelligence company Anthropic reported that its artificial intelligence models gained unauthorized access to 3 outside organizations during security testing. The company said the incident happened during the tests designed to keep its AI models away from real-world systems. Anthropic evaluated more than 141,000 test runs and found 3 versions of its Claude model accessed external systems. The company said the models had internet access due to a misunderstanding with its evaluation partner, Irregular. Anthropic said Claude used basic techniques, including exploiting weak passwords and unauthenticated endpoints. The incident comes days after rival OpenAI reported similar security testing issues involving its AI models. OpenAI said its model breached multiple companies and temporarily paused testing to improve security measures. The incidents have renewed concerns over AI safety, with more than 1,000 AI employees signing a petition calling for a slower and more controlled approach to developing advanced AI systems. You're watching DD India Newshour, and now it's time to get you all the latest action from the world of sports, to begin with the ongoing action in Commonwealth Games. India's impressive run at the Commonwealth Games continued, with weightlifter Lovepreet Singh winning a silver medal. The 28 years old claimed silver in men's over 110 kilogram category with a total lift of 388 kgs. The Birmingham 2022 bronze medalist upgraded his medal after lifting 176 kilograms in snatch to set a new Commonwealth Games record. He then lifted 205 kilograms and 212 kilograms in clean and jerk to seal the silver medal. The medal was India's 8th in weightlifting event at the ongoing Commonwealth edition. India's Seema won the bronze medal in women's discus throw at the ongoing Games. The 27-year-old secured third place with a best throw of 58.66 meters, taking India's athletics medal tally to 4. It is the first major international medal for Seema, who is pursuing a PhD and is also the mother of a 4-year-old son. On the other hand, India's Nidhi Rani finished fourth with a throw of 57.1 meter. And President Draupadi Murmu congratulated Lovepreet Singh. In a post on social media platform X, she wrote, and I quote her here, "Warm congratulations to Lovepreet Singh on clinching silver medal in men's 110 plus kg weightlifting event at Glasgow Commonwealth Games 2026. Your remarkable performance reflects your unwavering determination, remarkable strength and relentless pursuit of excellence. Your achievement has brought immense pride and joy to every Indian. I wish you many more laurels in the years to come," unquote. The President also congratulated Seema Kaliraman. She wrote, and I quote here, "Heartiest congratulations to Seema Kaliraman on winning bronze medal in women's discus throw event at Glasgow Commonwealth Games 2026. Your achievement is a testament to your perseverance, dedication and hard work. Your success will inspire young women to strive for excellence in sports. May you continue to bring glory to the nation," unquote. That was the tweet by President Draupadi Murmu. Moving on, two-time Olympic medalist Neeraj Chopra along with 2 other Indians advanced to the Commonwealth Games men's javelin throw final after finishing among the top 12 in the qualification round in Glasgow. Neeraj Chopra was 5th with a best effort of 79.61 meters, while Rohit Yadav and Yashveer Singh ended the qualification in 9th and 10th positions respectively to ensure a full Indian contingent in the medal round. Neeraj Chopra, who was the last thrower in each round, did not take his third and final attempt as he had already made it to the medal round by that time. With a steady headwind and a temperature of 18 degrees Celsius making conditions difficult throughout the event, none of the competitors was able to breach the automatic qualification mark of 84 meters. In cricket, the ICC has announced the venues for 2027 ODI Cricket World Cup, which will be held in October and November across 3 countries, which are Zimbabwe, Namibia and South Africa. The tournament will be played at 12 venues, with 8 venues in South Africa, 3 in Zimbabwe, and matches also scheduled in Namibia's capital, Windhoek. In football, European soccer's governing body UEFA and its 55 member nations on Thursday voted to boycott all FIFA tournaments in what could be a knockout blow to the global soccer organization's proposal to sell a stake in the World Cup to external investors. World Soccer's ruling body, FIFA, said that it plans to create a $20 billion subsidiary to run the World Cup and its other events and will offer stakes of up to 20% it to the external investors. In a statement, UEFA said that the World Cup cannot be treated as an investment product and the World Cup is not for sale. It further said that there was no meaningful consultation before FIFA announced its plan. Well, the first chance for UEFA to implement the boycott will be in September, when Poland is scheduled to host the Women's Under-20 World Cup event. Moving on. Heavy rains sent the flow at South America's Iguazu Falls surging to nearly 3 times at its normal rate, drawing visitors to dramatic views of the swollen cascades. Hope you were able to spot that rainbow in those amazing visuals. And with this, it's a wrap here on DD India News Hour. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download it right now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I am Deepika, and from all of us here in New Delhi, thank you so much for watching DD India News Hour. Namaskar.